First time I ever knew of Bobby was sixth grade, and we were playing youth center tackle football. I went to Root, he went to Washington, and I heard him talking about, oh, we're playing Bobby Noland. And well, when I got there, Bobby walks up, and you knew who he was just by the way he handled himself, and he ran all over us. And that just kind of showed from even those early days he was a dominant athlete. So,
well, there's 4 boys in the family. All of them graduates of Fayetteville High School. My oldest brother, Steve, was a 67 graduate, and Stuart was a basketball player. He graduated in 70, and then Bobby in 72, and then I was in 76. So 3 of us played for Coach Kretschmeyer back in the day. Growing up in Fayetteville during the 60s and 70s it was a lot of fun.
We had this neighbor that taught us a lot of sports. Her name was Jane Brockman, and she taught us how to play kick the can. She taught us how to play basketball. She taught us a lot of things, and we're forever grateful for her activity outdoors.
We lived initially in town on Rush Drive, and up behind the hill there was a basketball goal. The ground was slate, so that's where we got our start, was playing up there at a goal somebody had put up and playing on that court.
We could go up there anytime and play. It was just a great gathering spot for all of us and a very short walk for us.
Meeting Bob the first time probably, I remember he played some Little League baseball down at Walker Park like so many of us did in Fayetteville in those days in the 60s. And he was about the same height as the rest of us. Between his 9th grade and sophomore year, he took off. I saw him back at school one fall, and suddenly he was about 6'2" or 3", and then after that he gets to be about 6'5" or 6'6". And I don't know what his family thought about that, but us on the team were very happy about it.
He grew a significant amount, and during that period of time he had to wear a back brace. His growth spurt was so much, and he had a lot of pain. I guess growing pains is what you call them, while he was still participating in basketball.
He was a rock in the middle. When he got his hands on a ball and rebound, you weren't going to knock it out of his hands. And he had those wide elbows, sharp elbows that you stayed away from in practice. But he was the man. He wasn't always the top scorer, but he was usually the top rebounder. And he was certainly the top key rebounder at a key time in the game.
I have 2 daughters. When they saw pictures of me in high school in my game shorts, they thought that they wouldn't even let me go to the beach in those shorts because they were so short. And back in our day, we thought we were cool, but as I look back on them, they're pretty short.
It was so fun to have pep rallies back in those days in the old gym. The band would play and the student body would be there, but we had trouble with some of our fans. Some of the seniors, some of our classmates in the bleachers had been throwing coins out on the floor at the very start of the games and stuff, and it was getting kind of dangerous. They were throwing the coins. So at this one particular pep rally, Coach Kretschmeyer gave Bobby the microphone and said, listen, I'd like for you to go out there and say something to these fans, these classmates of you guys, and have them to quit doing that. It could be a little dangerous. The referees are getting on me. So Bob calmly took the microphone and walked out there on the court and said to the guys, we appreciate your support, fellas. If you have to throw the money, would you make it the paper kind? And needless to say, there was no more money ever thrown, but that was Bob in a nutshell.
Everybody assumed I was going to Arkansas because my dad was a professor there. One thing about the Kansas schools, they were big basketball.
He got a full scholarship to play at Kansas State University, who was reigning, at the time, Big 8 champion. And he was selected I think there were 7 people in his freshman recruiting class, and they were outstanding players.
He was very popular, with his teammates, and a great teammate in every way. He was a guy that was going to liven up the room when he walked in, and one of those blue-collar type guys. He's going to, defend oftentimes the other player's best inside player. He's going to rebound the ball. He's going to do all the dirty work on the boards, set great screens, finish around the rim. Just an ideal teammate in terms of doing all the things necessary to help his team win. It was a great time in Kansas State basketball history. Coach Hartman had just come onto the scene with the Wildcats and won a couple of Big 8 championships at that time, and advanced in the tournament each year, and came close to going to the Final Four.
Our big rivalry was a school named KU. So when they would come over to play us, we didn't have the security systems that they do today. But some of the students would paint chickens yellow and blue. Just not deep, but you could tell what color they were. So when they introduced the KU players, they'd throw one out apiece. So there would be 5 chickens running around on the court. That would really get your adrenaline moving.
After Bobby's senior year at Kansas State, he got an opportunity from Coach Eddie Sutton to be a graduate assistant at the university. And so this was during the 76-77 basketball season in Arkansas, and they finished, I believe, 26-2, or they only had 2 losses that whole year. And he really enjoyed that experience, allowed him to finish up and get his MBA at the University of Arkansas. One thing that did happen that year, they played his old team, 1 year after, with him being removed, and they played him at Barnhill in late December. And I think Bobby had prepared the Arkansas team for what to expect and did a great job of helping scout that. I've heard that from several of the players after the game, that they said Coach Noland had us well schooled on what we should expect from Kansas State, and they won pretty handily. And I don't think his old coach was very happy about it afterwards. The discipline it takes to be a college athlete and also to keep up with your academics, and he did that. He was all academic Big 8 his senior year. The discipline it took to do both really helped him be successful later on with his professional life.